Hi, it's Peter MacDonald, and I'm just getting the lights ready for the outside tree. So I'll Whoa. I think I'll just read. Oh, from my favorite book, The House of the Wooden Santas by Kevin Major. "20 days to Christmas." On Tuesday morning, Jesse could have stayed in bed forever. No way did he want to get up, even though he had been tossing and turning for hours. He lay on his back with the bedclothes tight under his chin, trying to figure out why Jonathan was being so mean. And he could not get out of his head the words Jonathan had scrawled on his desk. Maybe Jonathan's right. Maybe his mother was playing a game with him. Maybe there was no such... Suddenly, something caught his eye. He sprang upright in bed. Suspended from the curtain rod in the middle of the window was Santa, tucked inside the curve of a golden crescent moon. Jesse scrambled to his feet so he could see it eye to eye. His mother, yawning and tying her housecoat, shuffled in at that moment. She stood at the foot of the bed. Now all three of them were at eye level, though his mother's eyes were not open all the way. "In the house of wooden Santa," she said sleepily, "hangs our Santa in the moon." She held Santa to one side and let it go, causing him to swing silently back and forth in front of the window. "He rides high in the sky," she said. She stopped for a few seconds because of a wide yawn. "Takes away the troubles of the day and gently rocks us through the night." "Might have worked for you," Jesse said and bounced to the floor. "Sure didn't work for me." It spoiled his mother's daydream smile. "Jesse," she pleaded with a whine in her voice as he went through the door. "Wait." She stood in the hallway, leaning against the wall outside the bathroom door. He emerged from the bathroom and glared at her. "Is there such thing as privacy in this house?" He patted over the wooden floor straight to the living room sofa. She was right behind him. "Do you mind?" he said, frowning stiffly, his arms clasped around his legs. "Jesse, what's the matter? You can tell your mother." He jumped up and ran off to his room. He hauled on his clothes. He was determined not to cry, even though he came close to it every time he thought about having to go to school. Santa's swing back and forth in front of the window had almost stopped. When Jesse finished dressing, he fixed his eyes on him. But filling Jesse's head, like a fearsome drift of swirling snow, was Jonathan's silly grin and his mean and testing words. When Jesse arrived in school that morning, he pretended he had no time to even look at Jonathan. But before long, small folded scraps of paper landed on his desk. Jesse ignored them. Then came the whispers. Jesse tried to ignore them too, but the words crept through, muffled words jabbing at him. "Wimpy, bet you believe in elves," followed by a chuckle under Jonathan's breath. Jesse wanted to look at him in the face and roar at him to shut his mouth, but all Jesse did was lean on his head against his head to cover his ear. There was only one bright spot in his life during the whole school day. Mr. O'Donnell decided on the parts for the Christmas concert. "For the very important role of the first shepherd," he said. "How about you, Jesse?" Jesse nodded. He was thrilled to be the first one picked. "The shepherds are the narrators," said Mr. O'Donnell, "and I know I can count on you to speak clear and look serious. Yes, sir. Mr. O'Donnell's eyes scanned the room. For the other shepherd, hands shot up all around. This part is just as important. At times, every single person in the audience will be looking at you. Jonathan! Yes, Jonathan shouted. Jesse's heart sank. Jesse, I'm counting on you to help Jonathan stay serious. We wouldn't want any grinning or giggling. No, sir, Jonathan sighed. Mr. O'Donnell turned his attention to choosing the other parts. Jonathan looked over at Jesse. A devilish grin spread across his face. Pleasant dreams.